1장 살아남은 아이 The boy who lived. 살다 plus 남다 gives you 살아남다, which means to stay alive. 남다 means to remain, and 남기다 means to leave. It's the causative form. So 살아남다 means to remain alive or to survive. So this is the 살아남은 아이, the boy who lived. 프리빗과 사번치에 사는 더즐리 부부는 우리는 완벽하게 평범합니다. 그럼 이만 하고 말할 수 있어서 자랑스러웠다. Okay. So the Dursleys 부부는, the husband and wife, or Mr. and Mrs. Dursley, living on Privet Drive. This ka is not the same ka as the subject marker, but is added onto the end of a name to indicate that it's a street or a drive. And 사번지, not 사번째, but 사번지. The G is the same as in 지하철, so it's used specifically for road numbers. So they were proud, 자랑스러웠다. Why? Because, okay, 말할 수 있어서, because they could say, 우리는 완벽하게 평범합니다. We are perfectly normal. 그럼 이만. Okay. 그럼 이만 means, and that's it. That's all there is to say. Bye. Like that. And what about them? 이들은 결코 그 어떤 이상하거나 신비로운 일에. Okay. So those people, 결코, never. 그 어떤, those kinds of 이상하거나, strange, or 신비로운. This means mysterious. 신 is the same 한자 as deity or God or spirit, and 피 is the same as 비밀, as in 비밀, so secretive. So yeah, strange, kind of mysterious is the meaning. So in relation to those things, 연유될, to be involved in. So to be involved in such strange and mysterious things, 리 없다. Okay, 리 없다 means there is no cause to think that they would be involved in those things. They are those kinds of people, 사람들이었다. Okay. 그런 터무니없는 것에는, 터무니없는 means senseless. Okay, senseless. 터무니 is never used by itself. It's always used with 없다 to mean senseless. So that kind of senseless, those kinds of senseless things, 것에는 애당초, from the very beginning, 귀를 기울이지 않았으니까. Okay, so because, this is giving the reason for why there wouldn't be any cause to say that they're involved in the strange and mysterious things, is because from to start with, they didn't 귀를 기울이지 않았으니까, because they did not their ears, they did not strain 기울이지, so they did not strain their ears toward such senseless things. It's an idiom, 귀를 기울이지, 기울이다. They did not pay attention to. such senseless things to start with. So, of course, they wouldn't even be involved. 연유될 리 없는. There's no reason to think that they would be involved. Okay. 남편이 덜슬리 씨는 드릴을 만드는 회사인 크러닝스의 임원이었다. Okay, so the husband, Dursley, he worked at the drill making company called Grunnings, and he was its im원, or one of its im원. Im원 is executive, so he was an executive at Grunnings, which made drills. Okay, 그는 덩치가 크고 목이 거의 없다시피. Okay, so his frame or his build, 덩치, was big, and his neck, 거의 없다, barely existing or basically non-existent. 시피, 다시피. So 아시다시피 means as you know. Here this means as you could see, or as was apparent. His build was big and his neck basically non-existent. 뚱뚱하면서 아주 무성한 고수염을 기르고 있었다. Okay, so he was chubby and very thick. 무성한 thick. 고수염을 기르고 있었다. He had a mustache that was thick. This is 기르고 있었다. He was growing technically, but we would just say he had a mustache that was very thick. Okay. Dursley 부인은, so Mrs. Dursley, 마른 체격에, okay, thin or emaciated, it's a negative connotation of thin. Thin 체격. This is a synonym for 덩치, so just build or frame. 금발이었으며, okay, so while being blonde with a thin build, 보통 사람의 2배 가깝게 긴 목은, okay, so a long 긴 neck, a long neck, almost 가깝게 2배, twice, 2 times that of the normal persons, almost twice as long as the 보통 사람. Okay, so that is the topic of this next sentence. 울타리, fence. 울타리, 다리, fence. 너머로 고개를 쭉 펴고 이웃들을. Okay, so the fence 너머로, over her head, 쭉 빼고, to stick out her head, or to look over the fence. 이웃들을 염탐하며, okay, to snoop on, 염탐하다, to snoop on her neighbors, 이웃, or to pry on, 염탐하다. 긴 시간을 보내는데, okay, so while prying on her neighbors by sticking out her head over the fence, she spent a long time doing that, a long time. 긴 시간을 보내는데, so in that, this is kind of just like the same as 일, I guess. 아주 유용했다. Okay, it's very useful. Okay, or yeah, this would be like the same as just like got. So this is giving you this whole sentence is then being explained here as her neck being useful for it. Okay, so her neck was very useful for what she loved to do, which was to pry on her neighbors. Okay, that's it for page 1.